First off, credit to Wichita State. They just exemplify a lot of the program, a lot of the qualities that obviously, UConn's a historic brand, but just what Greg's been able to do there. They exemplify toughness and and winning, and so credit to them, for winning a very, very difficult game today. Just in year two, where we're at as a program, just feel like in the last two games played a lot more to the identity that we started the season with and lost our way for a week on the road. Year two should be year two should be losses like this to to quality teams, or losses like this that you compete your butt off, but you're just not quite good enough yet, or you win. Not performances like we had on the road last week. So this was a type of performance, at least in terms of getting to our identity of toughness, defensive toughness, just game toughness, that you rebuild championship level programs with, and then when all the other stuff catches up, you find yourself back towards the top of the mountain. So, but I was, there's no moral victories at UConn, ever. But I was very proud of the guys, and the way that they just battled.
And Sid, who hasn't played obviously much recently, was called upon today and responded, and kind of keeping you in the game with some players, and I guess he kind of earned the right to be on the floor for that last shot.
Yeah, well, he was. He practiced the last couple of days, even until last week. At the intensity level that you need to practice at. He practiced like his life depended on it, and he showed up on the court today and played at an intensity level like his life depended on it. If he doesn't practice at that level, if he doesn't, play with that type of intensity and urgency, then he won't play. Regardless of whether we have 8 or 9, eligible players, or if another guy sprains an ankle and I got 7, I'm not just playing him because Tyler got hurt. He played today because he had 2 good practices, and he was better earlier in the week, and then he earned himself more minutes on the court by the way he played when he was on the court.
Were we able to come back in regulation? You're down 9 or 10. This last minute, I think you were down 9. What able to come back there?
Just identity. The summer work, the preseason work, how hard we practice. These guys becoming better competitors, becoming more determined. Better leadership from Christian and Alternative. Not giving in, and continuing to compete and scrap and fight and claw. And that's what we're. As much as you've got to recruit and develop skill, and the issues that we've got to work through at the offensive end, which won't be solved in short order, the things that we can control is just how competitive we are, our professionalism, how we accept coaching, and showing up the right way every single day in the program.
Dan, taking a step back and just talk a little about the loss of Tyler and moving forward, some of the things strategically that you can accomplish without him.
Yeah, so losing Tyler was losing Tyler hurts. Obviously, clearly our best shooter, and at 6'8", being able to play him at guard, that length helps defensively, and obviously with where Sid's at in terms of the rotation, he was also the backup 4-man. With a cook, so you lose some help at 2. You lose a key guy at 2 spots. It obviously gives these younger guys a chance to play more. I wish I could have got Gaffney, take a little bit more minutes there, but that was not a game where a lot of freshmen were thriving out there. I don't know what Etienne did. 40 minutes, 2 for 7, 8 points. So for them and Sheffield. It was a tough game for freshmen. I wish I could have played Jalen more. But for Tyler, big picture, he's got a year and a half of great experience in the program. I think the light switch is really starting to come on for him. And he gets a chance now to address the biggest issue that he has with in his career, which is building up his upper body strength, just building up his body over the course of the next 8 to 9 months while he recovers from the injury. And then obviously he's going to be returning to the team as a key part right as we're going into a very exciting season. So if the timeline holds up and he does a great job with the rehab, then he should be ready for hopefully the opener next year. And he's in great spirits. And again, I had a player at Rhode Island that tore his ACL 7 minutes into his opening game, and he came back. It was a big reason why we got to the NCAA tournament the next year. So.
Not trying to get you in trouble, but was the explanation given to you with the out-of-bounds call and Christian diving? Was that not a reviewable play?
The way it was explained to me was potentially, after I begged for an explanation? Yeah. The way it was explained to me was the part of it that potentially could have, I don't want to get this right because I don't know, I thought I saw somebody from the AAC in the back there. I don't know if they fine you or anything, I'm not sure how that works, but I think I was told that the part of it that's not reviewable was where I'm going to maybe be upset when I see it. The part that they couldn't overturn the call or whatever was something that's not reviewable. So it seemed like the Saints last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, what did you think of James' performance in his first start?
I mean, I thought, James. That was a physical game, man. That was not a game for softies, certainly. And I was just really impressed by it. He had some defensive. He had some defensive breakdowns. He gave up that 3 to Etienne when he tried to cheat over the top of the screen. When you're guarding the shooter, you never try to jump over the top of the screen. You lock and chase, and you make him curl. So he had. He didn't have that many defensive breakdowns, and once he just got to understand when he's open, and I think he's got to trust his perimeter shot more. I thought he passed up 2 or 3 or 4 threes that he should have just stepped into and just tried to drop 25. He's such a talent, and now it's obviously he's going to be unleashed here, so he's just going to hopefully get better and better.
Yeah, to play that hard and fight that hard to come back and then just to come up short. Looked like Christian kind of took the loss pretty hard there at the very end. I mean, what was the feeling in the locker room? Do you feel like you can sort of almost build off this a little bit, just the fight? And
yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, they're not demoralized. I mean, it's Wichita State. Is obviously one of the top teams in the conference, if not the top team. And I thought we had some key guys that could have played better for us today. I just think that this week will be really good for a Cook. I thought a Cook, his minutes have been so high, especially like a freshman front court player with the energy that he plays with. I just thought he had like dead legs today. I just think generally we're going to show up the way we showed up today, the way we showed up versus Tulane, every single night for the rest of the season. And, my expectation is that we are either going to win the game or we're going to lose in excruciating fashion, which I said in September, which I said in October, which I said 2 weeks ago. We in year 2 of a rebuild, and this is what that is. Year 2 is either you're winning games or you're losing in excruciating fashion, not embarrassing fashion, like the road.
Yeah, this is something that maybe people should understand, since like you said, like Cook, he didn't have the hops that he had, and how tough a game was physically in the paint for freshmen. And a lot of people expect like sometimes the freshmen to jump up and continue to do like every game. It's not that easy, I guess. I guess my question is that something that you have to like temper expectations on? Yeah,
I mean, it's just like there's just a couple teams in the country, that have guys that are going to be top 5 picks, top 8 picks that can play as Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. and they can plug him in there and be a top 10 team. I mean, I think a Cook is certainly, if he stays humble and works hard, is going to be a draft pick at some point. Bouknight's got a chance to be that. I think we'll continue to recruit guys like that. You know, but there's like that old, adage, and it's like, you got to, get older and try to stay older as a program with at least the majority of players. It's just, it's a growth process. It's a learning process. I mean, we've asked that kid, to do so much. I mean, he's anchored our defense. He's played with the most energy, and he was, I just think he was gassed. But we saw it the last 2 days in practice, and we tried to give him a lot of reps off, but he couldn't find that pop today after.
You mentioned Vassell or Christian. What did you tell him on the court after the game? Because it looked like the two shared it.
My message to the older guys is, I don't know how many games you're going to win. I don't know where you're going to be, in March at the end of the season. But if you show up with that type of leadership, mindset, toughness, shot selection for the most part, although I think he had maybe a couple of CV step backs, but he just the way he represented himself out there in the court, his toughness, his leadership. I mean, his communication with the bench, just his communication with his teammates. He was. You could come back when you're 35, to Madison Square Garden, or win the Big East championship game with your children, and be proud of being on the first team that started to change it or turn it after 3 straight losing seasons. Basically that.
Is your press becoming more effective? I mean, you got something off at the end there, and cost of turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, we're just now playing 3 guards too. Obviously, when Tyler plays guard, Tyler's not the quickest lateral defender, and he's not really a ball pressure guy. He's more of a guy that can use his length and just kind of hopefully guard the bigger third perimeter guy. But we'll do a lot more run and jump. We'll play a lot more to that 12 defense. Especially when you got guys like James in there and athletic, quick guys that can anticipate. And Sid. Obviously, Sid being in there playing when he plays the 4, he's got some obviously a very high level of athletic ability.